I don't do very many unboxing videos, but when I got these in the mail yesterday, I knew I had to make a video as soon as possible. And I wanted to get my genuine reaction to what's in these because I actually don't know what they are. Let's go ahead and dig right in because I'm pretty damn excited. Okay, so here we go. The one thing, oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be a hard case. I guess not. I guess he's not doing that anymore. I like the soft cases though. That's cool. All right, so this is the Factor 8. Handle is aluminum, MagnaCut steel. I like it. And we have a little lubricant. Okay, all right. There we go. Now, I want to say something. I've been a huge fan of Brian Winter's work for a while now. Here's my 3 Winterblade knives that I already have. So we have the Factor, which is the first. We have the Mirage, and we have the Severn. So clearly indicated there with the nice names there. And I always liked his font and design. So here's some sampling, if you will, of Winterblade knives. So this is called, what do we call this? I already forgot. Okay, it's called the Factor 8. Okay, with an 8 instead of an E. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's a nice color. I like that. Oh, it's big. It's a big boy. It's a big boy. Okay, wait. Oh, it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger. Wow. Okay. So it certainly appears to be the same as the Factor. So for reference, that classic ting. Still probably my favorite at the moment. Let's see, how does this work? Different sound for sure, but then again, that's titanium, this is aluminum. Now, how's the flipping work back here? Ooh, okay, that launches quite a bit stronger. Okay, I didn't push it all the way in. Whoa. Okay, just heavier blade, so it feels like more intense. That is wild. Oh, cut that up real good. All right, we'll have to move that around, but yeah, that is gorgeous. I like the coating as well. I think, is that a PVD coating? I can't actually tell. Can't actually tell, but oh, the action is awesome. Little micro milling at the top and the bottom to create a little bit more traction so you don't slide up and down. Plenty of space for a forward finger choil. We have a, I guess we need a ruler, don't we? Here we go. How big is this blade? So it's definitely more than, it's like about a 3-inch cutting length, but it's approximately just under a 3.5-inch total blade length. All right, pretty cool, pretty cool. And if you don't know anything about these, one of the reasons that it grew so fast is this is the first or the second version of the magnetic locking system. So it actually uses a magnetic detent. It is I don't even want to explain it. It's a little bit too complicated and I'm not that smart. So very, very cool locking mechanism. And this one is also going to use that same locking system and deployment. So you have this little tab, press it down. It is not an automatic. This is definitely a manual knife. It just has what is kind of like a flipper tab sort of thing, like 2-stage. That's what that's going to do basically. So very, very, very cool. Love it. Love that. That is very, very cool. I don't know. I will tell you, I think I still like the small Factor a little bit more. In my hand, it feels like the proportionality is a little nicer. But if you like bigger knives or you needed a bigger handle, yeah, that's slick. Don't you love how futuristic these are? They're just so cool looking. All right, so I can't help myself. I got to see what's in these other. I got to see what's in these other boxes. I actually haven't been paying close enough attention to know what's going on here. So, all right, this one is. Cannot see. What is this? This is. Model is Veyron. Blade steel 20 CV. Handle is G10. Okay, that's interesting. can you get, I wonder what the other steels are, or if there are other steels. Okay, Veyron. All right, let's take a look, see what we got here. Veyron, okay. Well, that's cool. It's quite a steep ramp there. So G10 on this. What looks like a crossbar lock. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a second. Oh, it's not really, it's not a crossbar in the conventional sense. This entire thing is moving. That's a huge like piece of metal. So it's not just a crossbar, it's like a whole, this is just moving this bar, but it's not, that's not what's touching the blade. Whew, that is interesting to say the least. Can I do that this way? Yeah, interesting. So this is like a hybrid between, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, the reason I kind of sort of recognized it is it reminds me of the Severn with the stealth lock, which has a hidden little tab that lets you actuate it. And it's, once again, it has a metal titanium piece that actually engages, or it might be steel, that engages with the blade itself and allows you to kind of have a very, 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 very strong connection point. So that's exactly what it reminds me of. It's a little bit different than the Severn. It has, because it actuates also over here instead of in the back, where you kind of have to pull it out. I don't know which one I like better, but it's still really cool. These are all new locks. Like this, what's wild to me is that's a new lock. That's a new lock. The Mirage is a magnetic assisted lock, which was a new lock. And then of course the Factor and of course the Factor 8 are all new locks. Like those are all new locks designed by Brian Winters. I mean, that is wild, right? Like every knife is practically a new locking mechanism. It's just insane. Like who can do that? I don't know anyone who does that. I will say this, and this is, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to critique it a little bit. I find that the spring tension on this is quite low. It doesn't feel like it's really pushing hard enough when I deploy the knife, and like it just feels a little bit on the softer side than I would like. That's my only critique I have with this one so far. I think I like the Severn design a little bit, but what my guess is that this is potentially the strongest lock that Winterblade has come up with. Just looking at it in the way it seems to function, where this entire metal bar slides behind it, the stop pin is locked inside this piece of metal. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see just how many connections there are to this bar here on the inside. I mean, I might have to take this one apart to understand it a little bit better, but I could see a huge benefit here. I could see this translating to something different. You know, maybe a different grind where it's like a saber grind and it's like designed for more heavy duty use. That would be quite interesting. Overall, I like it. It's definitely not my favorite Winterblade, but it is very, very cool. I mean, we have enough here we can start to pick which ones I really, really like. Okay, oh, I didn't even look at the... Okay, this one is the Empire in Vanex. Oh yeah, titanium and carbon fiber. Vanex, ooh, I like Vanex a lot. I am a huge fan. That is a great steel for this level of knife. Very fitting. Okay, all right. All right, now what do we have here? First of all, I love that. That's a great milling pattern. Oh, okay, this is an automatic. I don't hold the button down. If I hold the button down, it doesn't quite fully lock. Why is that? Wait a second here. Hold on, I gotta go get a flashlight. All right, what's happening here? Back off. Why aren't you focusing? Wait a second. So it's not a switch. It's actually the lock itself moving out of the way. The whole thing is there. It's like a, it's like a, wait a second. So it's like, I don't understand. So this is kind of like a crossbar that's also a automatic? I'm very confused. Very confused what's happening here. What is going on? Okay, so what this means in my head is this is an automatic that potentially has a really, really strong locking mechanism. Quite often when those things fire, they usually have some kind of liner lock or something relatively simple. This is not that at all. Wait a second, and there's a magnet. So it's a magnetic, wait a second, magnetic detent? Yes, magnetic detent, because I'm pulling this all the way back. Oh, and I can't, I gotta move that out of the way. And then it goes like that. Wow, that's wild. Okay, here's a question. It has a cutout. Wait, it's a combination. Wait, it's a magnetic, it's a magnetic detent, automatic manual. My brain can't handle this one. Okay, how do I even describe this? Why is this a big deal? Let me think. Why is this a big deal? Okay, so usually with automatics, you usually only have one way to deploy the knife. And if you do it any other way, it can sometimes mess with the mechanism. But in this case, that's not going to be a problem. But beyond that, it's actually quite simple how the lock functions. It slides right back behind the blade and locks it in place. You can kind of see the resting point right there. This thing is freaking solid as hell. And it's comfortable too. Like, I like the size. It reminds me a lot of the Factor in size, form factor a little bit. Yet it has a smaller, because of the way it's designed, it has a smaller area here. Allowance. Okay, this is the reason I don't do unboxings, because when you have a knife like this, it's very hard to get your thoughts together to explain it. This might be my favorite knife he has ever come out with. It has a combination of just everything, right? We have a manual that I can just roll open. Yeah, I could just roll it open, or I can reverse flick, or I can launch it. This is wild. I feel like I should know this already. I feel like I saw this at Blade Show in Atlanta, and I think I only thought it was an automatic. Maybe it was also because I was too busy playing with the Darkfire and the double action automatic to try this. But this thing is wild. Oh, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Okay, so let's just recap. So these three knives are what are coming out on October 23rd. So these are all coming out October 23rd, right? The Factor 8, the M-Fire, and the Veyron. By a wide margin, my favorite knife, not even close, is the M-Fire. I like this knife so much, it could end up being my new favorite Winterblade. That's how much I like this thing. I would like to understand more about this lock, because the way I see it functioning, it's essentially, from a strength perspective, it is significantly higher than most, if not all, automatics. And if you combine that with a very stout, maybe saber ground blade, maybe like CPM Crewwear, 3V or some crazy thing, you would have a very, very, very durable and tough knife. I'm very curious to see the potential of this system. I want to see more of it. I really, really, really like it. I'm curious to hear your thoughts down below. Obviously, these are going to be not for everyone, both in design and of course in price point. But of all like the makers out there, I don't know anyone else that is bringing this kind of creativity to the locking systems of their knives. Like there's just so much to cover when it comes to Brian Winters. These are not even all of the designs that he is working on with new locks and mechanisms. So keep an eye out, but damn, if I had to pick one, the M-Fire's numero uno, and then I think I would definitely pick up the 8 as well. There you go, I heard the ting. There you go. Starting to get there. No, I like that one too, because it is a bigger version of one of my favorite knives, which is the Factor. Either way you go, I think you're going to be happy. The Veyron, I feel like the potential is really there. I like the actuation on the back. It kind of keeps it out of the way when you're gripping the knife. But from a proportionality standpoint, it's a huge handle for a very, very small blade. That's the first thing that comes to mind here. That's the thing that I noticed the most, where I feel like the ratio on the M-Fire is just perfection. Like it reminds me very much of the Factor in almost the same way. And I like what we're getting here with the M-Fire. That's my thoughts. I think maybe I'm wrong. You let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite. But overall, I just am just blown away. Every time I am able to play with something from Brian Winters, it just blows my mind. That's all I'm going to say because I'm just rambling at this point. As always, thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon.